Welcome to Inclusive Science, the series where we explore the human side of research and discovery. Science belongs to everyone, but through history, not everyone has had the same opportunity to take part. In each episode, we will talk about the barriers that still exist, the stereotypes we need to challenge, and other inspiring stories that prove us that there is no single way to be a scientist. From women pursuing their research during pregnancy, to scientists who have crossed borders to follow their passion, and to other people that breaks expectation in countless other ways, we will celebrate the diversity of paths that leads to scientific innovation, because the more voices we collect, the stronger science becomes. Today, we are joined by Oksana Savel. I will give you a quick introduction for our listener and share your starting career path. And please do correct me if I get anything wrong. You studied here in Louvain-la-Neuve when you earned a master's degrees in cellular and biomolecular engineering before starting a teaching assistantship. So for those unfamiliar with the term, it's a PhD position that also includes teaching responsibility, such as lectures and practical sessions. You're conducting your thesis in the lab of Melissa Page, whose interview is available on our YouTube channel. For a listener who may not have a background in biology, could you describe your research topic and explain why it matters?
So currently I'm working on the aging and mitochondria. So mitochondria are the powerhouse of our cells, so where we produce energy. And we are really interested in mitochondria because we know that when we age, they will become dysfunctional, but we don't really know how it's working. So we have some clues. We know that there is some stress response that are activated. And so I'm working on this stress response to see what's happening during normal aging and if we could apply in the really long term some therapeutic to help to solve those problems.
Okay, and on what organism are you working?
So I'm working on the killifish, so it's Notobranchus furzerii, the African turquoise killifish. So it's a small fish, 5 centimeters, that has a very short lifespan.
Okay.
So it lives approximately 6 months. And why we use it, it's because I'm interested in aging, and so to do some stuff like compare at young, old, or adult age in the middle, the different protein levels or gene levels. It's really interesting because it's going quite fast compared to other models like mice or zebrafish.
Okay, really interesting. What motivates you to choose an assistantship? Is teaching something that you value? And if so, what do you enjoy most about it?
So, first, when you do a PhD, you need to have a grant. So I postulated to several grants where I was not successful.
Okay.
And then I was someone suggested me to postulate to that job. And I've always been interested in teaching because when I was in master, I was already doing some, in Belgium we say, monitor students. So you go to a practical work to help the actual teaching assistant, or even you do it all by yourself.
Okay.
And I know that I like that, so I postulated and I got the job. So I was very happy.
Okay.
And I think teaching in the university when you are doing a PhD is really interesting because it will increase your skills in several competences that you need also for the research, like communication skills,
yes, for example. And more broadly, what inspired you to pursue scientific research? Was it a childhood dream or something you discovered later on?
I would say more like a child dream. I always say that I want to work in research, create vaccines, for example. So I think since I have 12 years, I'm 12 years old, I'm saying that. So I knew that I wanted to do scientific studies. And I did my master, knowing that during my master thesis, I wanted after to get a position for a PhD thesis.
I didn't mention it earlier, but you're actually pregnant, so congratulations to you and your partner.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best. But I imagine your friend and family are too, but in the professional world, Such news is unfortunately not always welcome as positively. So, did you sense any tension or concern when you shared the news, or on the contrary, did you receive support from colleague or supervisor?
I would say that mostly I received support from my direct colleagues. So when I told the news, everyone applauded, in fact. And for my supervisor, my direct supervisor, so Melissa Page, she was also very happy for me. So it was not a problem at all. Maybe from more indirect colleagues, the reaction was still, they were happy, but I felt more like I was the first pregnant woman they encountered. So they had to do some paper to sign, and they don't really know what to do, but I don't know neither because it was the first time for me being pregnant. But it just, they don't know, but it's not like they are unhappy about that. It's just they need to get used to it.
And what are the kind of papers
so in the university here, you have to say it that you are pregnant as soon as possible, because I'm working in the lab. So you have to get a visit from the doctor. So you need to warn the people to get this visit. So you met first with the doctor, then the doctor came to the lab to make a tour of the lab, and then again she has to file some report saying okay, she's normally working with that, but no, she can't work with that. And also again, for that kind of meeting, I had the impression that I was the first pregnant woman she met in the lab, but I know I'm not, because like sometimes I had the feeling that I had to explain every single thing that I was doing, but I'm not doing a special manipulation. It's like, for those who knows, I'm working with Western blot or RT-qPCR, that really regular stuff. And for me, I would feel that they should directly say, okay, this you can't do, but this you can. And I was not really feeling like that when I met her. No, I know everything I can't do now, but yeah.
What are the things that you can't do?
So you can't work with specific solvents that are, so the classification, it's CMR, so it means cancerogen, mutagen, and reprotoxic. So those are not good for the baby. So you can't work with them. So you always have to check those kind of solvents or toxic products you are regularly working with. So often it's already the products that you are using under a chemical hood. And no, even if I'm working under the chemical hood, I can't use them. So it's a bit annoying if you still have a lot of manipulations to do in the lab, but as I have nice colleagues, I can always ask them to do it for me, because sometimes it's just like they need to put for 5 minutes something in a particular product, and then in another new product, and then I can continue with the experiment.
Recent European and Belgium reports show that despite progress, discrimination against women, and especially against mothers, remains widespread. From your own experience, or from what you have observed, is such discrimination also common in academia, where competition and pressure are already intense?
I would say that I did not feel that for my own experiment, so I don't feel any pressure because I'm pregnant. The only pressure I'm feeling is the one that I put myself, because I'm almost at the end of my PhD. So in September, so in a few weeks, I will have 1 year left. But I will be in maternity leave for like 3 months on that period. And then maybe I don't have the answer already for the childcare support after to keep my baby. So I don't really know when I will be back, but then I want to finish during my contract to write my thesis. So of course it's a question I have in my mind, but maybe also I could say that if I'm feeling that if I'm taking too many years to do a PhD thesis, it's not good on your CV after if you want to pursue with a postdoctoral position and then maybe have an academic career, because the more you take the time, sometimes for some grants you have a specific age, maximum age to apply.
Yeah. And when you are pregnant, do you have extension time with your thesis?
So yes, when we are teaching assistant, you can ask for 1 year or more. So this is quite practical, but I'm not sure I will ask for it, because it's already been several years that I'm working on my PhD and I want to move on my career on other stuff. But I think 1 year is nice. I'm not sure you can get your everything back to normal in 1 year, because if you count well, you have 3 months of maternity leave. If you are unlucky, maybe also you are stopped before having your baby, because maybe sometimes you are really sick at 2 months, but that's not my case. But you could be absent already for 7 months, then at least 3 months of maternity leave, and then it depends if you have someone to take care of the baby, or if you continue with a breastfeeding period. So you can already lose 1 year, and even getting 1 year of teaching position, half of the time you are giving practical work, and half of the time you are working on your PhD. So it's only 6 months more. So you have to be organized.
Yes.
So it can work.
And it is really half the time you're teaching and half the time you're doing your thesis?
No, I don't think it is. So I think I'm doing more 60%, 40%. So 60% of teaching, 40% of PhD thesis. But it's really difficult to count it, and because sometimes you have to answer an email, but then you go back to the lab. So it's really difficult to have a global idea. And also when you are teaching, it's like tomorrow I have my practical work, so I will be in front of students. So I want the practical work to be a nice lesson. But my PhD, it's like I have to finish it in 6 years. So it's a really more long-term goal. So you may feel less pressure the time that when you have the practical work tomorrow, you want it to be really good. So sometimes you want to work a bit more on the practical work, but you should just really get organized and say, okay, this time it's for the practical work, and now I'm working on my PhD. And my practical work is as good as possible for now, and now I'm working on the PhD.
So have you benefited from any institutional support measure from the UCL other than the 1 year extension?
No, not really. I would say the only support I have is but it's informal. It's the fact that I can ask my colleague to do some things for me because I can't. But there is no specific other measure.
And do you think that you will need anything else?
For the moment, I don't think so, but I don't have the baby yet. So I think my life will change after that. So maybe my mind would be different. So I don't know.
Okay. Do you think it is possible to combine a fulfilling family life with a career in academia?
Yes, I think it's possible. So I have several examples around me. For example, my supervisor, she has a child, and I think she's succeeded to work and then get some family time. But I also know they are working, so like principal investigator in lab, they are working a lot. sometimes they send the email during the weekends or really late. So I think it's a question again of organization, and also if it's the kind of life you really want, because maybe you don't want to have to go back to your emails during the weekends.
Yeah.
But if you are really passionate about what you are working on, maybe you want to do that. So yes, I would say it's possible, but it's really, you need to have a good organization.
Yeah. And do you know some measures that can be taken to have that organization?
The problem is that the teachers, they have to work in research, but they are also teachers, so they have really lots of duties. And I think for me, some people should be researchers and lead research team, research groups, and some people should be only teachers.
Yeah.
Because doing both job, it's really time consuming, and you have to get involved at different levels of the faculty or the school, to be president of an examination jury or whatever. But also you have to be part of a research committee, so it's really different jobs.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So I think it would be nice that there is some people doing only research, some people only teaching jobs, maybe also keep people that are doing both, because it's nice. Of course, it's nice to have teachers that are really at the top of the research. They really know the last things that have been discovered, so they can give really good classes. But sometimes it's lots of work. So,
do you think you would have considered pregnancy if your thesis had been 4 years instead of 6? And if so, why?
I'm not sure I would have considered it, because first I would have been younger, because it's in 4 years I would have been between 24 and 28 years. Now I'm 30 years old.
Okay.
So I would have maybe feel too young to get pregnant. But also in 4 years, that's what I said earlier. If you are sick because of the pregnancy, then you have your maternity leave, you can lose almost 1 year. And in that case, I'm not really sure that with this kind of grant, when you have only 4 years of PhD, you can get all the time you were away. I'm sure you can, the maternity leave of 3 months, you can extend of 3 months your 4 years, so you have 4 years and 3 months. But if it's more than 3 months, I'm not really sure about it. And already doing a thesis in 4 years can be challenging. So if you have only 3 years to complete your job, you have to be organized.
Yes. And what about the postdoctoral position then? Because it's also 4 years, I think. But after the thesis, you can do a postdoctoral position.
So it's not 4 years, it depends. So the postdoctoral positions, it really depends of the kind of which kind of project.
Okay.
It could be 1 year, 2
Okay.
years, sometimes 3 years. I think 4 years it's a lot, and it's more like you have 2 years working on something, and then you do another postdoc position, maybe in another lab, 2 years. I think when you are in postdoc, maybe it's easier to be pregnant at that time. Because you don't have the pressure, like for the PhD thesis, to have a final product at the end.
Okay.
Of course, you have to work in the lab, and you want to write an article, for example, but you don't have this, at the end of my 4 years, I have to give this big manuscript.
Yeah.
If I don't give it, I'm not a PhD.
And finally, on a lighter note, what has been the most memorable day of your scientific career so far?
I would say that each time you get to present your research in a conference, through a poster or through a short talk, it's always really nice. Of course, it's a stressful day at that moment because you are in front of people that are really working on your subject, so you are a bit stressed by questions, but it's always nice because you can have their advice on what you are doing, and so it's really helpful to advance in your research.
Okay, thank you very much for your presence. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, me too.